Yo, welcome back to SIIDA Talk. You're back with Naz.
And that's HQ, guys. What is up? What's happening, bro?
Oh, bro, we're back into it, eh?
Sitting next to you today.
I know. Why are you here?
Bro, guys, I've moved seats because we're joined today by one of our nearest and dearest, Reg. Reg is a really good friend of ours. She's someone that we look up to in terms of a lot of growth, building yourself, and yeah, definitely all of that stuff.
Known Reg for a fair few years now. You know, seen her grow, a couple businesses behind her. And that's why we have her here today, because we're going to be touching on, a bit of motivation, goal setting, and whatnot. And Reg, how you going?
Good. How are you guys going? I'm so excited.
Oh, glad to have you on, mate.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
All right.
Can't wait to talk about it all and
Yeah,
unpack it all.
I know, right? What are we touching on today, guys?
So, bro, today's topics are basically on a bit of motivation, goal setting.
Bit of self-awareness, mindset.
Exactly.
That's what we love, eh?
Yeah, and
Really
accountability, man. That we'll wrap that up in there too. You know what I mean? That comes with a lot of accountability.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
So let's just go straight into it, guys.
Yeah.
This is a big topic. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to get through. So I guess we'll just get into it. We've
Yeah.
got a lot of experiences between all of us, and
That's it,
we
eh?
could share it with our
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah, definitely.
Self-awareness and accountability. I guess first things first comes down to understanding yourself,
Yeah.
understanding your purpose,
Yeah.
what you're about, what your goals, and I guess holding yourself accountable, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's very true. I 100% agree with that. You really need to understand what you can and can't do in terms of understanding yourself.
Yeah.
So when you do understand yourself, it comes down to, okay, I'm capable of X, Y, Z,
Yep.
Yeah.
but I want to do maybe, A, B, C.
Yeah.
And what's going to take me to be able to do A, B, C? So understanding what you are capable of and what you're not capable of. For me, that came from I didn't know I'd be able to pull a 36-hour day when I started my business until I pulled a 36-hour day. And I guess every time I leveled up in terms of work ethic and the amount of hours I put into my work day, I guess that sets the new standard of what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
that's definitely in terms of, understanding what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that. You got anything to say on understanding?
I think another way to, have self-awareness and take accountability of yourself is through reflecting, right? And I think we all do it in our own ways, but one of the ways that I do it is through journaling. So this is called reflection journaling. So I write to myself every single day about, where I am and where I'm going and how I'm feeling towards my day as well. Every single week, I will reflect on, okay, how was I feeling this day, and how was I feeling this week? Oh my goodness, I've grown from that. And also that's where the self-awareness has come from. So that's one of my ways. And I also do gratitude journaling as well. So it's also about, enjoying and loving what you're doing right now, and it's really taking that step back, and it's appreciating everything you're where you're at the moment as well in your life. So I think that's a massive part of my life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, how do you do that though?
So I do reflection journaling through my diary.
Aye.
So it's called the Envision Planner. So I use this, and I also have I do it through my own, if I don't have my diary with me, I'll do it in a notepad or whatever, but I always have my diary with me most of the time. So I have little segments of, financial, developmental, personal goals, all of that stuff there. So there's through reflection journaling, I do it from my diary. So my diary is a lot more personal and developmental. So it's a little bit more looking towards the future. So I plan towards the future, whereas I use my notepad. It could be anything, to be honest. It could be a piece of paper or anything, just more to be a little bit more personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my diary is pretty much talking about, it's working towards the future, whereas my notepad is just about being present right now.
Yeah.
So this is something that I've been doing for the last few months. And
Yeah, that's-
it's really been helping me.
No,
I
definitely.
guess you're making those increment goals on a daily basis to
Yeah.
hit your end goal, right?
Exactly.
And you're not gonna, if you don't write it down and you think about it, you're not gonna get anywhere because it's gonna go, you keep going back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth.
100%.
You have it on paper.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who, practice reflection through, mindfulness and stuff like that, which is great. But when you write it down, you can actually go back towards it and have a look at it and be like, oh my God, this is where I was, a week ago or a year ago. You can actually go back and be like, wow, I've grown so much. When you're just thinking it, you don't remember.
You don't.
You don't know, I mean, obviously you know, but you don't know to that extent.
Correct.
A week ago, I was reading my reflection journal and I was like, I was like, wow, this is how I was feeling. Oh my goodness, I've come so far,
Yeah.
So it's really good to look at, and I think it's something everyone should really do.
I love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
definitely. And like, I just want to add to that. So like, in terms of self-awareness and where you're at in life,
Yeah.
guys, is like, there's going to be people that you're going to outgrow.
Yeah.
Right. And you can look at it in two ways, right? There's always like, oh, people have changed. People have changed. They're not the same around us anymore,
Yeah.
But it not necessarily always the case. And I remember saying to one of my younger brothers, I was telling him, he's like, bro, they've changed. And I'm like, bro, no, they haven't.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're still doing the same thing. I'm like, we've changed.
Yeah.
I'm like, we just don't want to live that life anymore. And we've understood that that's not taking us anywhere. So we've changed, but we haven't changed for the worse. I'm like, we've just outgrown them, and that's okay. That's something that you have to learn to, some people you're going to outgrow and leave behind, and it is what it is, if you're on a different wavelength, you need to stick to that, stick true to yourself.
Yeah. And it's also being about, that having that feeling of humbleness is like, I'm sure people have thought the same thing about us as well.
Correct.
And now we feeling the same thing about other people as well. So that's life.
Yeah,
it happens,
100%.
outgrowing people and people outgrowing us like that.
Yeah,
exactly right.
That's the journey.
Exactly right.
So,
Just life. That's how it is, right?
Yeah.
I guess, but holding yourself accountable, self-awareness, and how we're talking about, having those increment goals to get to your end goal.
yeah.
Goal setting.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Like, what's goal setting?
Well, bro, goal setting for me is it's actually like really funny when you say it, and it sounds stupid, but I actually work backwards.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I figure out what my end goal is and what I want to be, like where I want to be at the end.
Yep.
And I work backwards from there. So I'll sit there and I'll be like, okay, to get to end goal X, I'll need to do something before that. So the goal Y.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you know, it's you follow through, you know what I mean? And you work backwards to a point you've got a method set up in terms of how to get to your goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Once you work backwards, you've got the path there. It's very okay. So remember when we were kids and we used to get those cereal boxes and they would have a maze on the back,
Yeah.
right? At what age did you figure out you find the end of the maze and you can figure out the front of the maze, right?
Yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah. So I mean, like the maze was where you needed to get to was in the middle.
Yeah.
But if you started in the middle, you can always work your way out.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what you mean?
You know what I mean?
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So, guys, like,
love it.
I saw that back when I was a kid, like, you had the mazes and you work backwards. So, like, goals in life, you find out where you need to be, work backwards on how you need to get there, and then execute that plan. So, they'll definitely, in terms of working backwards, that's how I move for that.
100%.
Yeah, so, I guess it all comes down to asking yourself why and what your purpose is in this world. Like it could be your purpose can't be going, you want to go buy a Bugatti because your neighbor has one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to or compare yourself with others and say, oh, he's got a fucking Louis Vuitton jacket. I want one too.
Yeah.
What colour's your Bugatti, bro?
Oh, my Bugatti, the one I dream of is actually black. Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, if I had one,
But,
I'd one. But just sort of chime in. Fuck.
Fuck Nazil.
I like cars, guys.
Nah.
I know, I've got a barbecue soon. Nah, but just knowing your purpose.
Yeah.
Why you're here. What impact do you want to make before you leave this world?
Yeah.
For the people around you, for your future generations. For me personally, my family life, as you guys know, in my past segment has been rocky, has been a bit rocky. And my whole thing is for my future generations, I want to find that financial freedom. That's my purpose for my future, and to just build a name for my own family. That's my
Definitely,
purpose.
and that's definitely a really good goal to have, bro.
100%.
It's in my opinion, bro, I feel like a lot of people don't take that initiative or take that step to be the first person to be like, you know what, there's a lot of hard work involved, and there's a lot of self-awareness, and there's a lot of development that needs to come from within.
Yep.
And for someone to understand all of that and still take the approach to it, bro, like hats off to you, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
It's
that.
still on, but
Yeah, no, so
but look, yeah, 100% with that, man. Like, in saying that, I definitely agree with where you want to go and like how you want to build for all of that. But I feel like there's got to be check-ins, right? Like you've got to have those, like you've got to have that action plan. You've got to have everything written down in terms of steps, where you can come back and look at it and see where you're at with everything.
Exactly.
Because like, in that journey of getting like changing your life around, there's so much to it, from mindset, paying attention to details, and like there's so
many
much.
fundamentals.
Exactly.
It's always little things, right?
Exactly right.
If you putting that effort in to do, for example, like my day to day. So I wake up early in the morning, about 5 a.m. and I go to the gym. I journal, a reflection journal, gratitude journal. I meditate. I listen to a podcast. I'm doing all these things, to get me to my big achievement, which is my future self. So it's having these good habits and these small habits, even though they're tiny, they seem tiny, but that's going to get you there. So I do that through my planner as well. So I have those development plans and all that stuff in there. But so everyone has it in their own way. Like I'm sure you have it.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, like for me, a lot of my check-ins come from my whiteboard. So I've got a whiteboard. I've got everything written up, and I keep more the bigger goals on there, and the smaller ones that lead up to those goals I've pretty much got down pat. So
exactly.
I know I don't have to look at those, but it's like I look at the main goals and I'm like, okay, I'm headed to that direction. So if I'm having a bad day or a tough day,
100%.
like I understand the goal at the end of the day, so it makes it worthwhile putting up with the day that I'm having,
And as well as I think a lot of people come to me, it's like, oh, Reg, you have a lot of time in your hands. You've got so much freedom, or, oh my goodness, I wish, I wish I had that time, or whatever it is, And it's like that idea of someone giving you, success, not due to your efforts, it's because of, oh, you've got freedom, or you've got this privilege, or you got this, and it's like, no, you don't realize, we don't show people the little things we do to get to that big achievement, right?
100%.
So it's this is the reason we're doing this podcast, is to show them how we get there.
Exactly.
How we set goals and how we achieve these big goals.
100%. What methods we implement.
Exactly.
There's a process to everything. Like you got to trust the process. You can see whatever you're seeing on social media and whatnot. Like,
I love that you said that. There is definitely a process to this. And back in school, right? Well, when it came to goal setting, they taught you this thing called SMART, right? You got to set SMART goals. And SMART was actually not SMART goals, but SMART was actually an acronym.
Yes.
And the acronym for SMART was specific. S stands for specific. Your goal's got to be specific. You got to understand what you got to do. M is for measurable, right? Right. It's got to be measurable. You gotta have like, okay, how much effort am I putting in? What am I expecting to get out? That's measurable. A is it achievable, right? Is this something like, I mean, I'm not gonna, make a goal to, I want to turn over $1 million in a day when I'm turning over, like
nothing happens overnight.
20K, you don't want to be fucking, set unrealistic expectations for yourself. The R. Bro,
Relevance.
Thank you. Right? How relevant is the goal to where you want to be in life? Like if a goal, like, and mind you, like there's always little things that pop up in life, like that are, say side missions or side tracks from your actual goal. Right. And there could be things that you just genuinely enjoy. Like for me, it's fishing. And like I hit a PB in fishing and I caught a big fish, and I know I can go fishing again and score another big fish. But to understand that is that relevant to where I'm going right now?
100%.
If it's not, then I need to know I need to back away from that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not a goal I can touch right now. Like, yeah, I want to hit another PB and another fish that I catch, but that's more something interpersonal that I can deal with later.
Yeah, I guess
So,
gym.
yeah, there you go. Beautiful. That's something that's progress over time. And you know, bro, like no one can shortcut that.
Nah. And you know what goal you want to hit for with the gym work and all. So there's obviously going to be measures to get to that point.
Exactly right.
And then what's the last one? Time.
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 Yeah.
Time, bro.
Everything takes time. You got to put set, but also
That means basically set your time, bro.
set your time.
Set a time. Set a time for that goal. I mean, like, this is shit we learned in school, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day. So if it stuck with you, if it didn't stick with you, it's something that you should, I definitely feel you should subconsciously do,
Yeah.
right? And subconsciously, you should automatically go through that acronym when you have a goal in mind. And if you tick all the boxes, bro, automatically you're there to, like, you're already halfway on the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
I think now that I was telling you before, it's those long-term goals are, you know, they're not urgent, but they're important, right?
Yeah.
So how do you keep yourself accountable to reach those goals, right? And it's through check-ins, it's through, you know, writing them down and, you know, all of that stuff. So it's, it all goes, comes together, you know?
But with all of that, you need motivation.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Motivation is the major thing, especially like the world, like the last fair few years, right? COVID, this, that. It's been hard for people to get motivated, you know, every day, wake up in the morning, do this, do that.
Yeah.
You know, for myself, what I do, I get up in the morning,
Yeah.
I'll go have my greens drink, sit outside in the backyard, embrace the sunrise and, you know, write my 3 goals down for the day.
Yeah.
You know, like to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable.
Yeah.
I'm making sure that I hit my goals. You know, there are days where I don't hit that one task.
Yeah.
But, you know, next day is a new day. Trying to be
Exactly.
1% better than the last.
yeah, and that's improvement, bro.
And I think
That's it.
That's progress.
That's
Yeah.
part of like your non-negotiables. It's something you do every single day, no matter what, unless obviously there's emergency or you're sick or whatever it is, but you get it done. And that's like me, right? So some of my non-negotiables is waking up early, super early in the morning. I meditate first thing in the morning. I journal. You know, I go to the gym. I listen to a podcast. I read a book. So these are things that I want to get done. By 8 a.m.
Yep.
And then I start work. And then I start my day. These are things that really fuel me up. But these are things that, I don't, some days I don't like doing it every single day. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I just cannot be bothered. But you do it. You show up for yourself,
Yeah.
Motivation's not always going to show up for yourself, right? Like think of motivation, like imagine having a friend that's, super fun. And when they're around you, you're energized, you're having fun. What happens when this friend doesn't show up every day? Are you just going to sit around, just, not have fun? Yeah, it's just like motivation. Motivation's not always going to show up for you.
You can't rely on it, right?
You can't rely on motivation. It's never going to show up for you. I mean, it will some days, but it's not always going to. So what do you do on those days that it doesn't? You still get up and you still,
Definitely.
you still grind.
And that definitely links up to, like, look, if you're not motivated, you got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I feel like that's where definitely discipline comes into play, and how much this goal means to you.
Yep.
In terms of, that's how disciplined you're going to be.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I always sit there and I think, like, my goals, what makes me push to that limit, and a lot of mine, like my upbringing and my lifestyle, like in terms of how I was brought up, I had it pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I had it pretty good growing up. I'm not gonna lie. But then I did hit 18, and my dad did say to me, he's like, "Naz, you want it?" He's like, whatever I wanted up until I was 18, I got handed to me. I turned 18 and my dad's like, "Yeah, you want it?" He's like, go get it yourself. Go make your own and get it yourself. And that really showed me that, okay, I've had a great life, but in order to keep that life up, now I need to put in the work that I've been seeing.
Yeah.
And whether it's the motivation's there or not, that's what really motivates me, is understanding that I've had that life.
Yep.
I've lived that life and I want that to continue.
Yeah.
So that's where my drive comes
But
from.
you want to do it in your own regard.
In my own regard, for my own self,
For
yeah,
yourself.
definitely. So it's not to show anyone, it's not to do anyone.
No.
It's just I've lived this life, and I want to continue living that life. I enjoy it.
Yep.
And like in saying that, like I have moved out of home. I've seen, you know, like I've had the weeks of living off noodles. I've had those weeks. I've had those weeks that are struggling. You know, like they're hard, and you go through them.
Yeah.
And like when I was there, all I could remember was like, yeah, I had a good once, and to get it good again, bro, like I got to put the yards in, and no one's gonna come save me.
Nah. No.
So definitely, yeah, mine comes from my motivation comes from a lot of lifestyle, and when it's not motivation, there's discipline there that in terms of okay, I'm not motivated to do it, but I've got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't do it, who's going to do it?
Can you do it?
100%.
Oh, but hey, I wanted to go back to that friend that you talked about.
Yeah.
So going back to that friend, I guess no, that friend's not always going to be around, right? But also it comes down to the people that you surround yourself with. This bloke over here, he's got this one saying that he loves to say to every single person out there.
Show me the 5 closest people around you, and I'll show you who you're gonna be.
You know what I mean? Like for us, I guess, you know, we've both been in the same friend circle and all. You know, we had one mate who would always compare, you know, keep individuals to himself and always was playing the victim. You know what I mean? If you're going to have people like that, you're not going to be motivated. You're not going to have that, hey, bro, how you going?
Are we
I'm
naming
having a
and
shit.
shaming, or-
Sorry? No shaming. He knows who he is. Fuck it. But, you know, like for me, for myself, you know, I have days where I'm like, fuck, I'm a bit stuck.
Yeah.
What do I do? You know, I call Naz, I tell him about my day, and he's like, bro, just, you can do it. You know, he gives me that motivation. So it's about the people that you're around,
100%.
you know? So,
And I think, that's also like, you know, about who's your accountability partner. So clearly you guys are, you know, each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do hold each other accountable.
I have that, you know, with my partner. So Prash, you're a good friend.
Yes.
love you, Prash.
Chat, Prashi, we love ya.
He's such a, you know, he gives me that massive drive every single time that I don't see from anybody else, you know. He's just pushing me all the time, and you know, and when I am like, you know, I'm going overboard, so I do that quite a lot, you know. I just keep going, I don't stop, and it's just like, okay, you know, it's time to just slow down a little bit. So it's that being accountable when I am going too hard, and when I'm going, you know, when he sees a lot of potential in me and I'm not going as hard as I can be. He's always telling me, Reg, you can go so much further than that. And it's just like, you know, so this planner came out during COVID. So I got this done in 3 months, and that's because of I mean, obviously it's from me, it's from my hard work, but it's that push he gave me. So obviously we were in strict lockdown. I was working, but because it was essential, I don't know why, but 3 days I was still working. 3 days I was doing uni full time, so I was doing 4 units. So that was all happening, and it's just like, and having a diary was one of my lifetime goals. It was one of the things that I always wanted to do.
That's so good.
And it was something that I was like, you know what, I'll probably do it when I'm like 27, 28, like when things, you know. And it's just like, why don't you just do it now? And I'm like, I thought he was bizarre. I was like, this is not normal, but he's like, just try it.
Yeah.
3 months. So this is custom made. So there was over 400 pages. So I custom made it all in Canva. I figured out how to work around Canva. I did it all, and I got it published. I got it all, you know, marketing, all of that stuff. Got it, you know, and made my first, you know, I sold out in the first run. So that was
amazing.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's your accountability partner. It's
Definitely
pushing you, and sometimes I didn't even see it. You know, I didn't even see it in me, but he did. He's like, you know what, you can do it.
That's a valid point you put there. Like, you know, there's, you know, everyone has goals, but and also you've got to understand there's so many tools out there to get to that goal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Using your resources. We are, you know, so lucky. We have so many resources.
So many resources.
Oh my goodness!
And honestly, bro, like with what's on the internet, with the AI, the new AI stuff and all of that, man, like everything's automated. So like people do not have excuses to not be leveling up. Honestly, they don't.
Oh no, I just feel like Canva. Like I was using Canva. Not even, you know, you do your free trial and stuff. That's what I was using. I was like, oh my god, let me just use it all up. I don't want to pay whatever it is, but and then I didn't. Like, you know, you just that was enough for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I love that. Yeah. Now
Beautiful.
That's definitely like definitely something that we definitely lean on, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, definitely, guys. I say that way too much.
But I guess with the motivation comes down to the mindset, guys.
yeah,
Definitely,
Mindset's a major thing.
yeah.
Of course.
bro. Mindset for me, what it looks like in my life is being okay with being uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I love being uncomfortable.
me too. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love being more uncomfortable than being comfortable.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the stage I am at life.
So for our listeners at home, Reg, and I feel like me and AQ are in this wavelength, but do you want to explain why being uncomfortable is something that you like being in that element? Like, why is...
It gives me so much reward. It's that, those that neurotransmitters, those chemicals in our mind. It's like, your dopamine, your serotonin,
Yes.
your endorphins,
Yeah.
all of that. I get all those level of hits. And as well as, I just feel so good. It's that journey of like, you might like having like, for example, I do like the Stairmaster every single day and I try to hit my PB. So the most I've done is like 1 hour, 20 minutes. Oh my goodness, I am struggling. I am dying and I hate I'm just like, oh, what am I doing with my life? As soon as I finish, you just this feeling of like,
Yeah.
Accomplishment.
Chemicals. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
addicted to that.
Love
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Love
Addicted
it.
to that feeling. And it's like, doing that, I did ice bath, that the plunge I did, and then I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I in this ice cold water? And then getting out and just feeling that rush
Yeah.
of like, your happy chemicals.
Yeah.
That feeling, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait to do this again.
100%.
So, and then when I went bungee jumping, oh my goodness, I was like, what did I just get myself into? I don't know.
Let's go.
But you did it.
I did it, and
Fucking
that
oath.
feeling of finishing. Oh my God!
Oh, wow.
I just want to keep going.
Yeah.
I love the feeling
Love
of
that.
feeling uncomfortable. So
Love that. Love that.
And with that mindset, I feel like that comes with a lot of in our mind we build a lot of barriers that we feel like we can't achieve, and these barriers are built by no one else but ourselves.
100%.
Right? And when we go out of our comfort zones, it's basically going against what we think of ourselves. Right. And then you put yourself in these situations, you come out better. And the reason I feel like you do feel better is, and you get these emotions, is like, holy shit, I could do that the whole time.
I'm capable.
yeah,
I'm capable. Like, I know I can do that. Holy shit. So what's next?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to adapting to that change.
Yeah.
Like for me, I used to have those warm showers in the morning, but then I was just whatever, just like a normal day. But now I push myself into a cold shower just to adapt to that
Yeah.
change, that uncomfortability, and carry on with the day. It's good motivation, I say.
100%.
I love a cold shower.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'll be honest, I still haven't fully come around to the cold showers yet. I don't know why. I love an ice bath, but I just can't do the cold shower, right?
You could jump in the pool like that.
Yeah, I can do the pool, I can do
Do
the...
it here and there, but it's like, ooh, like
Yeah,
It's just it's my thing.
do that.
On a daily basis, I just make sure.
yeah, I mean, it's surround yourself with, exactly.
Hey, look, we speak to each other every day on a daily basis, bringing each other up, and, if we have a dull day, call each other. Like, yeah.
Yeah, lift each other up and keep your spirits up, Like, I know there's a lot of times in the week where I call AQ and I'm like, bro, I'm having the roughest day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to go home, I'm going to chill out for a bit and then get into work, like get into
It's the
our own little...
And we're so supportive. Like when I was telling Akil that, I'm just there was a day that I was just not feeling the best. I was sick and I'm just like, just in that mindset. And he's like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay to feel that way sometimes, But I ended up changing my language as well and changing my mindset and be like, you know what? Yes, I am sick, but I can do other things. There's
Correct.
other ways to, complete my day and feel fulfilled.
100%.
And so that was one of the things. So having that supportive friends and also changing your language.
Changing your language, yeah, definitely. And I think me and AQ had a live example of this with changing your language. We were talking on a topic. Do you remember?
I think it was this podcast, to be
It
honest.
was
Yeah, we're like, if we did this, and we became this,
Yeah.
if.
Yeah.
But then when we said when, then we're like, Oh, let's do it.
Let's change it from an if to a when.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, if I'm going to do this, no, it's when I'm going to do this. And then it kind of gives yourself a bit of humility in the terms of, okay, I've told someone now, they know it. Now they're going to hold me accountable, but if I don't do it, there comes a bit of humility with that.
Yeah.
And with that humility, it comes uncomfortability.
Correct.
And uncomfortability comes growth. So it's all entwined with one another.
Yeah, 100%. It's a formula, yeah.
Definitely
So good.
changing language.
I think
Yeah,
also,
man.
every time there's moments where you're just waking up and you're like, oh my God, I do not want to wake up this early in the morning. But it's like changing that mindset, like, oh, I have to get up this this early in the morning to I get to wake up this early in the morning.
Yes.
Having just stepping back and be like, you know what, I get to wake up that early. I am so healthy, I'm
Blessed.
we're so blessed.
Yeah.
My goodness,
Yeah.
we've got feet, that move for us, legs, hands, like we've got so much going for us.
Yeah.
We get to do these things. A lot
100%.
of people don't get to do that.
That's true. It's true.
We have so much. I don't know if it's privilege or whatever it is. I just feel so lucky.
Privilege, opportunity. There's not.
You do so many things. I wake up and I'm like, I go outside and I'm like, oh my goodness, like the littlest things. It's like the sun's out.
Yeah.
I've got the sun on my face and I'm just like, wow, like it's keeping me warm.
Yeah.
I'm healthy. I'm smart, and all these little things that just keep me grounded.
Yep.
And really, those are the little things that just make me so content in my life. It's not the big achievements.
No.
Obviously it is, but it's also that there's little things that really fulfill me and really make me happy today.
Yeah,
And it's also, I think, also about the balance you have. It's like, oh my God, I'm happy with everything that that's happening in my life and everything where I'm at in life, but also moving towards the future,
Yep.
and moving forward. So I think these are all the things that really help us grow.
Yeah.
And, that. Yeah.
100%. And like,
I agree.
like I definitely agree with all of that, Reg. Like this all ties up with everything that we've been talking about today, guys. We've spoken about, motivation, goal setting, and, how to be self-aware, find out what you want to be, how you want to be there, why you want to be there. And I guess it just comes down to, like, when you sit down with yourself and really want to become self-aware, is the best thing to do is have a self-evaluation.
Yep.
See where you're at in life right now.
Yeah.
And then ask yourself, like, after you sit down, but you got to be honest with yourself, guys.
You have to.
You can't sit there and be like, if you're doing bags every weekend and you're losing money to like Uber Eats every week and shit like that, you really got to look at that and be like, okay, I'm actually doing this. Like, you got to be 100% honest.
I also think there's one thing that I missed out, I wanted to say, but it's about having your vision board, right?
Okay, yes.
So you have your vision board. There's a lot of people that I see, and I used to do it too. They have it visible, for other people to see as well. They have it in a room or framed or anything like that. You're not going to be completely honest with yourself.
No.
I have my vision board hidden now because I want to reflect on my dark shadows. Your dark shadows are your greed, your jealousy, your pride, your ego, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going to have it on your vision board that's, framed up.
Exactly
No.
right. Yeah, exactly right.
So I think it's that, it really encompasses like on all of those points, your motivation, your self-awareness, your mindset, all of that stuff. So yeah, being really honest with yourself and really,
big one.
having that evaluate what you want to do and where you want to be in life in all aspects. Be truly honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, definitely. Like, in saying that, like, I did go through that process. So I did sit back, and we all did. I know me and AQ did ours together at one time. Like, I was like, you go off and you're like, he said to me, you go on your own way. I was
Yeah.
on my way, and
We didn't speak for a couple of years.
Yeah. There was this
Yeah. Yeah, there was a period of time, like, we didn't speak.
He went his own way, I went my own way, and we knew that we had to be away from each other because we're together. We're down for a good fucking time.
Yeah, it was a cycle. Like, we had a bit of a cycle going, right? On the weekends, this, that, whatever. It just became a cycle. But then me and him, like, we're good best Okay, let's go fuck myself.
Sorry.
No.
Nah, like yeah. Once you find yourself in a cycle, like in a cycle that you're not happy with,
Yeah.
you know, we were doing the cycle of partying, you know, getting up in the, meeting up in the weekends, getting on it, whatever. So you know, he had his circle, I had mine, and then we had it. We were together, but then you know, we both knew what we can bring out of each other. So we were just like we were the best of mates, but then people came between us and kind of put a barrier. So we were like, Naz, go do your thing. He was like, Q, you go do your thing. And then now we linked up after like a couple of years we didn't speak, and we're so much stronger.
He's had his own self-development
Yeah.
at that time. I've had my own self-development at that time. And
Yeah.
our friendship, honestly, has gotten that much stronger that I feel like we're at a place now that like we're comfortable enough to tell each other off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you...
That's a great example of the right people but the wrong time, like that you know. And now you guys are the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
Well, we deployed a lot of humility.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lot of humility.
Honesty, self-awareness, accountability. You guys, look
All
how
of
far you
that.
guys come.
But in saying all of that,
Yeah.
I'm very content at where I'm at
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, me too. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I'm grateful. You
I
know.
think that's the reason why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Because we are content. We're so happy with where we are in life, and we're growing, and
And the way life's moving.
yeah, we just, we're addicted to that growth.
Exactly right.
We
Yeah.
want to keep changing. We have that, all of that.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
It's a great
Good
space.
enough, so-
It's an amazing space to be in, bro.
Yeah, no, it just mind's been more clear, you know, more happier, having genuine people around you, you know, doing your daily task, you know, working on your goals with the people around you that you love.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Yeah, and I can only like just add to that is
Yeah.
with all of this for me has brought a lot of clarity because like we haven't really spoken on it and a bit of my ADHD, but
Yeah.
my mind runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So
100%.
when I do sit down and like get to a point like this in my life, I'm like, holy shit, there's so much more clarity.
yeah,
And that allows me to navigate through worse situations that I don't really have control over a lot easier.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
know what
It
you mean.
lets me sit back and make a proper decision, like have a good understanding and make a proper decision.
Yep.
And move the way I need to move.
just move slowly and forward. Yeah,
That's it, bro.
that's it.
How about you, Akil? What helps you, have that clarity and that the having that clear mind and all that?
I think for me, like I mentioned in my last segment, I lost my purpose for a fair few years, right? Partying and all that, breaking my leg with football and all, and I kind of lost it all. But I always like think back sometimes. I think back to my life, how it was and where I am now, and I'm grateful, and it just keeps me content. And it also, it keeps me grounded, but also motivates me. I have this inner beast in me where I'm like, I don't want to be that guy again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make myself into this person. Like, so I'm in that little,
It's
in that curve, but getting there slowly in yourself.
I think the one thing that keeps my mind clear and really focused and have that purpose is practicing meditation every single day and being alone, having that time alone and just not distracted. I just like going for a walk without headphones. How many times I see people with their headphones while they're going walking. That's such a beautiful day. It's sunny. It's breezy. It's such a beautiful day, and they have headphones. Like, why? Why are you doing that? I love just doing that. It's just being in my own mind. I love listening to myself.
Yeah,
It's so important. And then that's the best way to reflect,
100%.
to create goals, to see your future, to just be in your, just
Your
have that
mind.
flow
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
I like
say
that.
Reg, because I resonate with that so much.
Me too.
And you
Yeah?
know this,
Yes,
right?
you go. Yeah.
In the truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like my first truck, when I got my first truck, right? This is back in the day. It actually didn't have a radio,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
it had a radio, but it didn't work.
Didn't work. Yeah.
So, and like back then AirPods went out. So, I mean, I'm using these wired headphones and I need to use my phone for a GPS. So it's like in the way kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, whatever. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And I just stopped listening to music and like the radio wasn't working. So I used to get into my own head.
Yeah.
And I was at a very, very different stage of life then.
Yeah.
That was the party stage. And that was, so I mean, my thoughts were fucked.
It's pretty fogged.
They were messed up, right? I was like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing this for? Like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
It was like that. But and that's why I say about the clarity thing. Like everything with these, what we've spoken about today, has brought that much clarity to me to make me understand. Like, yeah, fuck, this is why I do it. Like this week was pretty rough.
Oh.
But in saying that, like I did sit back through this rough week, and there was a moment that I was like, you know what, this is my fault. I did this, and I took accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I made it my fault, right? Not only did the whole problem become my fault, it also gave me the power to be able to change it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's my fault now, so it's my responsibility to fix it.
Yeah.
And that gives me the power to do whatever the fuck I want to fix it whichever way I feel is correct.
Yeah.
And me giving myself that power allows me to go and develop and, you know, come up with solutions. And then those solutions allow me to develop in business. So, you know, mindset changes so much.
That comes down to your work ethic, bro.
Yeah, I think so.
100%.
Like, I've seen it, like, from the first time you had your first truck to where you are now, the work ethic that you've put in, like, you wouldn't know let's say, for example, the position that you were in last night, yesterday, whatever, this week, whatever it was, you know, maybe 10 years ago, you would have been like, oh my God, you know, you would have lost your shit. I know you, like, you would have lost it.
Yeah.
But this time around, you're like, bro, this is what happened. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I've got a contingency plan.
You just straight away
And
do
I'm
what you're
ready to
doing.
hit,
Yeah.
ready to hit
Contingencies.
it. Contingencies. That's it. Yeah.
I
a big up for you, bro.
live off contingencies. So thanks, guys. I love that. I love that. Thanks, guys.
I think that's important. And
Yeah. So I mean, look, we've covered a lot today in terms of what we need for mindset, goals, motivation, and just leveling up in life.
That's it, man.
Right.
better
Every day.
Big ups to Reg for coming on.
Thanks, Reggie.
Guys, she's mentioned the Envision Planner throughout this podcast, and
Hey, guys.
we'll show you what it looks like, and we'll also have a link at the end of this video for you to go and follow the page and give her a like, a share, and yeah, I think the 2024 Envision Planners are in progress at the moment, Reg.
They are, so I'm super excited.
All right, guys. So, you know, this is a tool that you guys can use in your life to, you know, help you navigate through all of these difficult tasks, because it's not easy. It's really not easy. And I feel like if you do take these steps and you do have the right tools with you, it makes it so much easier. So big ups on what you've done, Reg.
Yeah, Reggie.
Big ups.
Amazing work. Love it.
Because of you guys, you know, you guys are a massive part of my life. So, yeah.
We're here for each other. So, guys, make those goals. Keep going hard and stay SIIDA.
All right. Stay SIIDA, guys.
Be hard on yourself as well.
Yeah, remember, you'll have your off days, but tomorrow's a new day. Love you guys.
Love you guys.